We are in live now, sir.
Okay. I see
So
107.
yes, sir. So they are joining now. So we'll just give 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yes.
623 registered. So hopefully they will join.
You may know we also have meetup events and everything. It's always like 200, 100 people RSVP, then 50% or 30% show up.
Yes, sir. We'll start. Meanwhile, they will join, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You
So,
can go
very
ahead.
good morning to all our CIT students, and it is a great pleasure to have you all here for the Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiative of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman Shri P. Sriram, a successful first-generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist, and managing director of NK Group of Companies. Under Knowledge 4.0 series, we have been conducting webinar series such as Technical Webinar Series, Research Webinar Series, Career Guidance Webinar Series, Alumni Webinar Series, Innovation Webinar Series, and Faculty Development Programs, and Technical Seminars, and even training programs. So all over the world, so participants are attending the programs and getting benefited. And CIT now offers, in association with University of Texas, Dallas, a certification course in advanced Python and project-based learning through Python, exclusively for our CIT students. And today we have an orientation program, insight to you all about project-based learning through Python, which is going to be handled by Dr.Jey Veerasamy, Director, Center for CS Education and Outreach, University of Texas, Dallas. And Chennai Institute of Technology was established in the year 2010 by our Honorable Chairman, Shri P. Sriram, and now our institute is being ranked within top 10 institutes among private engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. And it is a great pleasure to welcome our Dean and request him to share a few words to us. Over
Yeah.
to you, sir.
Yeah. Happy morning to all our students of Chennai Institute of Technology. First of all, let me join with Dr. Dhanalakshmi ma'am in welcoming Dr. Jey Veerasamy sir for conducting this orientation program. Dear students, at Chennai Institute of Technology, we are organizing number of programs with a view to improve the knowledge and skill levels of all our students. So in the competitive world, our students also should be competitive. So their book knowledge alone will not help them to become more and more competitive. So apart from that, they have to listen to the experts. They have to learn from the experts. So in that view, our Chennai Institute of Technology is organizing a series of webinars. So by way of attending this webinar, first thing, you will have an opportunity to interact with the experts. And the second one, you will also will gain a lot of knowledge and skill. So with that, you can enhance your learning and you can continue your learning. So by that way, you can become a full engineering, employable engineering graduate. That is our objective. So in that line, we are planning to organize a certification program on project-based learning through Python programming. To begin with, today, Dr. Veerasamy sir will be giving an orientation about this particular program. So I request all the student friends to take active participation in this orientation program. So you can interact with our expert and you can clarify all your doubts. I understand that already you have some basic skill in Python programming by way of studying this subject during your last academic year. So Python programming is not a new subject to you, or it is a new not a new learning platform for you. Already you have some foundation. So I think you can very well interact with our sir, and sir will be clarifying all your doubts, and he will also give a lot of projects that can be solved by means of this Python programming. So this is a beginning only. Let us have a good beginning today. And probably after the end of this meeting, I will brief you about the mode of conducting the 60 hours online certification program to all of you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivational words. And I would like request Ms. Kebisha Bright to just welcome our speaker. Over to you, Kebisha.
Yes, ma'am. We take immense pleasure in welcoming Dr. Veerasamy, sir. Dr. Veerasamy is a senior lecturer in computer science and director of Center for Computer Science Education and Outreach in Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science. He oversees multiple outreach programs aimed at introducing and encouraging computer programming skills in children in the Dallas area, including coding camps throughout the school year during holiday breaks and summer. Specialized camps and workshops focused on cyber defense, robotics, game design, coding competition, and app development. The center also offers teacher training workshops and professional development programs for adults. We are privileged to hear your voice, hear your words, sir.
Yes, sir. So over to you, sir.
Okay, so thank you all. Thanks for the introduction. Let me open my screen. Okay, sorry. It looks like my is my PowerPoint visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. I guess
Yes.
somehow I was on mute. Okay. So how I want to approach this today? Don't worry, I'm not giving in assignments today. Okay. So I want to share some very general ideas first. Then I will switch over and give little bit closer to coding, a few slides. I want to finish in 1 hour. And then I will say a little bit, even more go narrow and talk about the course a little bit. Okay, so that's how we are going to approach. We're going to start big, kind of keep narrowing it down, and we'll end with our course. Okay, the 60-hour course we are talking about. So first of all, I thought it's kind of good to give you an overview or what my thoughts are about computer science education and jobs, big picture. So before that, little bit about me. I was born in a village near Srivilliputturu. So I hope most of you know Srivilliputturu, where Andal temple is, right? All the Gobra and the Tamil Nadu government thing is. So seal, right? So I studied in Palangote, St. Xavier's. Then I did ECE in CEG Gindi, College of Engineering, Anna University. Then I worked in 1 year in HCL. Then I came to US for masters. Okay, long time ago. And after master's degree, computer science, I went to work as a telecom software engineer. Then parallelly, I was doing part-time PhD as well. Then along the way, I switched to Samsung, and I worked for 13 years in Samsung. So total around 16 years. Then got married in 98, right when near finishing PhD, because in life you do only one PhD at a time, marriage is another PhD. And adjunct faculty, my wife is not here nearby, so it's okay. Adjunct faculty, I started work as adjunct faculty in 99. In CS department, meaning part-time faculty. That's what it is. After that, I taught quite a bit online in a lot of colleges, online colleges. Okay. Then also I taught some more as again 2010. I taught in nearby university as a part-timer. Then I decided to move full-time. That's how I came to UT Dallas, and I've been with UT Dallas last 10 years as a faculty. So I have two girls, they keep me busy. Nowadays they're a little bit bigger, so it's not they are busy on their own. In fact, sometimes I have to drag them to talk, otherwise they're always in the computer or phone, just like most of you. I'm passionate about teaching, so here I am. It's 11 p.m. Not many faculty will do this, so. But I'm happy to share my ideas to improve teaching quality and anything that I can add to Indian colleges. So you already heard me. I worked in industry 16 years and a PhD, and then 10 years in university. And I am more than 50 years old. Recently, I crossed 50. One of the interesting thing about getting older is that you get to share your experiences. So you have a lot of perspectives that you can share with people, right? So I was in a lower middle class family. My dad was a school teacher, family of 5 kids. I was the youngest. So how the drill is, right? Lower middle class family. So very quickly we can become low class family. That's not very far off, isn't it? So only way is to work hard. Thank God I didn't go hungry that many times. I don't remember went without food or anything. So. But we were always hungry to learn, hungry to progress. So somehow mentally, it was clear to me that if we don't do a good job, that we will end up as low class. And it's tough, right? So it's nothing worse than not having food to eat, right? So, but that's not very far away from where we were. So that always gave that drive. Along the way in life, I always think about, what drove me to whatever I achieved. Is it passion? Is it fear? I think the reality is both. So nothing can really replace passion and fear kind of mixed together. Every human being have both, right? Of course, it may be small, big, and all that, but which one is small, which one is big, and all that. But if you don't have passion in life, it's very hard. If you don't have anything, fear at all, kind of hard to get motivated. So along those same lines, my daughters, I don't know whether they are viewing it the same way or how I viewed things. So with that hunger to progress, somehow they're passionate about few things, but are they really hungry to progress? I'm not sure. Okay, simply because their environment is very different from how I grew up. In fact, it's very unfair to expect that from them because they are not growing up in the environment that I provided. So why I'm saying all this stuff, many of you may feel that you are from lower middle class family, that you wish you had a lot more money, like a few of your friends. All I'm telling you is that's not really bad. Okay, so nothing wrong to be lower middle class family, even low class family for that matter. Okay, so nothing drives you like that scenario. Okay, I'm not here to give you a philosophical talk, but I did want to cover a few things like this. Okay, I studied in Tamil medium till 12th standard in Palangotai, St. Xavier's. In fact, at that time, I think a lot of sections were Tamil medium sections. I think there are few English medium sections. I guess simply because I was too afraid of being in English medium, maybe because studying from the village all the way, you don't want to switch to English medium and do poorly, right? And so I don't know how much thought process went through. Probably not much thought process. It just naturally ended up in Tamil medium. Struggled like crazy in college first year. Okay. And you know how it is to switch, right? I don't know, most of you probably are English medium studied, and people who studied in Tamil medium, hopefully you can probably relate to it. right? So, but the key thing is that I really pushed myself to make a lot of mistakes and learn. There is no other way, really. Really, there is no other way to learn a new language, so particularly speaking, right? So in the process, I gained so much confidence, okay, that we can do it. So every time when you struggle and you improve, you speak better, you can see, the hard work is, you're trying, and it's paying off, so every improvement. We may not be perfect. Even now, I don't claim myself perfect, okay? But the thing is, now there, I remember the first year chemistry and all that, how difficult it was for me. The teacher is asking a question, I know the answer, but I cannot tell. But I still managed to get up and say something. Unlike my friends who are sitting close to me, they all knew the answers too. Several of them are from villages, but they were too shy to answer. But you have to break that limit. You cannot. We have to push yourself. We cannot let that push us down, really. So I remember I got up and blabbered something. My teacher didn't understand. Faculty didn't understand. But he was kind enough to say, go to the board. Of course, if you go to the board, you can always do a good job, right? Because writing is easier. So now, so I struggled so much in the first year that in Untitled Chapter, you can imagine a lot of Chennai kids are there, right? The speed they are speaking in English is just turns us off, makes us scared, the rest of the people, So luckily I didn't get tough, right? So now right now I teach American students. So I run the courses for American students, and they can understand me very well. Okay, so at least close to perfect, So having said that, learning new computer language is actually relatively a lot easier. I mean, hopefully many of you agree, right? Learning Python, maybe Java, C++ is a lot easier than learning a new real language, right? After all the computer languages are in English, right? And it uses limited vocabulary, and you're not necessarily have to speak, you're only typing and all that, and you can correct it. So when you do a lot more complex things, right? So you gain a perspective. So you can do a lot of things a lot easier because you have done something harder. I could not get into computer science in Guindy, College of Engineering and University, because I didn't make the cutoff. Okay, so obviously next best thing is the ECE. That's where I did my undergraduate degree under major. So, but what it did though is that I never lost interest in computer science though in the process. And I wanted to kind of get into computer science not because job market. I got no clue about job market or anything, but something that's a new field basically, So in fact, I thought production engineering was a new field, So my dad thought it was cool, so we went and joined production engineering. Then people had asked me, that's kind of like a fancy portion of the mechanical engineering, so I don't think it's a good fit. So I learned that, then I switched to EC, then I tried to switch to computer science. So I spent a lot of time in computer center in Guindy, Ramanujan Computer Center. That's what it used to be called. Maybe few of the faculty may know, whoever went to an university. And I spent so much time. I learned so much on my own, thanks to that all the staff and faculty there. When the PCs came, 89, 90, yeah, 89, 90, the first PCs came, okay. Microsoft PC XT or something they used to be called. So as soon as the PCs, Windows, the DOS, I guess, not Windows, I guess, right? The DOS operating system, disk operating system. So as soon as they came, computer virus came too. So I wrote the virus vaccine program, first vaccine program in Chennai. And all the IITs, IIT and everywhere else, they were using my vaccine program. And I went to Doordarshan, Ariviyal Airam, and I gave with my friend, I gave a 10-minute speech about how this vaccine works, So that was very exciting moment. So again, all this just I took the advantage of the opportunities. I wouldn't say that it's a miraculous or something out of the blue or anything like that. Nothing like that, really. So I just took as much advantage of whatever opportunities were given, and simply because at that time our distractions are very limited too, and in the college, unlike the school, you do have the little bit open-ended environment, meaning you're not just forced by the scores and courses alone. You can apply, you can kind of learn new things. Nothing wrong with that. I know up to +2, you're so worried about getting good scores in the exams and all that, but college need not be that way. In fact, if you have little bit lower score in courses, and if you have a lot more experience, you are probably more likely to be hired compared to the another person who has better score, but it doesn't have additional stuff. Okay. So I think this slide deck, this is probably the last one. So imagine that you are going to finish the college degree, then go and start in some company, right? And do a good job, earn money, live a good life, right? I call that just an ordinary person, okay? So what does the ordinary person do, right? You finish limited education, limited learning typically, right? Then we want to achieve unlimited amount of money, right? So then right now you are busy finishing the required courses, right? And your schools also, we have done the same thing, and required projects we finish. And when you go to job also, boss gives you work, you finish. So we are always in this finishing what you are given mode. Nothing wrong with that. By any means, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. The problem is that's what most of the people do. When most people do the same thing, what results in is anytime there's a job, anytime there is something, there's always a heavy competition. Okay. So question is, how do you distinguish yourself? How do most of us, I don't think we enjoy heavy competition, right? We don't want heavy competition. How do we stand out so that we can escape that heavy competition? Okay. Only way to escape that heavy competition is passion. Okay. Really, that drive to do more by yourself, not without somebody else saying it and all that. Okay. So when you're passionate, basically you want to do more. You want to do more by yourself. It can be lifelong learning. Typically, lifelong learning automatically means lifelong using too, hopefully, right? Some you may not use, but most of the time you are learning because you want to use, right? One thing I can tell you is that value for additional money is limited once your basic needs are satisfied. Okay. By no means I'm saying that you have to be really live in a basic level. Whatever is a reasonable comfort level, house, working environment, whatever the basic necessities, food, meaningful number of dresses, beyond that, at some point in life, I know it may be too young at this time, some point in life, you will question yourself. I have certainly questioned myself. If I have to work a little bit harder, if I work a little bit harder, I may be able to make more money. Then you turn around and ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth to put that more hours into that and earn that lot more money? What is the use of that money? Particularly, that additional work is going to affect your health potentially, right? So you're going to give up something. Remember, life is always, nothing is free, right? Even when you're working on using so many hours, you are obviously giving up that hours, right? So there should be something, you're taking away that hours from something else. So passionate person really enjoys this type of thing. Money kind of is at some level, but it doesn't materialistically make a big difference in your life. Okay. And think, so passionate person, as a passionate person, you will think of your own projects to work on, your own things to do, your own additional things to do. Okay. Here is the really best part. When you are passionate, every time you do something new, something interesting, you are making yourself unique. Okay. It need not be something grand. Okay. It can be as simple as going to online course, doing some online course because you wanted to do it, not because somebody asked you to do. Okay. So even this Python workshop, the 60-hour course we are trying to, I hope if you say, you turn around and say, I don't want to do it, I don't think CIT is going to say much, so this is certainly not required for your graduation. Okay. So, but we hope that you kind of take it in spirit. You do this course and you do a lot more beyond this. Okay. There is a unlimited amount of resources available right now. So really sky is the limit. Please don't misunderstand me. Don't think that, oh my God, this guy is just asking us to work 24 hours a day. Not at all. I don't mean that. Okay. I mean, just use your time wisely. That's all. So everybody needs a relaxation. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Just to see with limited time how you can do more. Okay. So that ends my first presentation. We are going to the second presentation soon. Okay. Let's see. I know we don't have that much time for Q&A or something. We can, maybe some other time we can. Madam, still everything is okay?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now and then it's good to hear okay. Okay, so we are going to...
Students can respond in chat box also.
Yeah, so maybe I can look into the chat towards the end. Okay, but I cannot see the chat
sure.
because I'm using the full screen.
Oh, okay.
That's why I keep asking you. Okay.
No, sir, no problem.
So now that I kind of finished the big picture, I didn't want to get into too much philosophy and blah, blah, blah. I can talk about it all. That's not the goal here. Okay. After all, we want to talk more about computer science, bring it close to what we want to do. These slides I prepared some time ago. I think one of the colleges asked me. So see, I had to be very efficient with time too. I didn't have much time. I just spent 15 minutes to kind of put everything together and I'm here. I don't have much time, so I have to use the resources that I already have. So this is something I did some time ago. Hopefully most slides are still meaningful. Okay. Before going there, I think most of you are computer science IT students, right? Maybe I think ECE students. Do we have anybody else, madam, here? Is it CS, IT, ECE, or?
Actually, it is a mixture of all branches.
All branches. Okay.
All branches.
Okay.
To start with.
Good. Of course, that's actually even better because nowadays any branch cannot escape computer science, right? Particularly Python. Believe it or not, any area you go, you have to use data, right? So everything is data driven. Yeah. If it's a 5 piece of data, you can do add by hand. If it's a 5 million pieces of data, how will you do anything by hand, right? You need program, right? So Python is a wonderful language for all such purposes. Why? Because Python came later. You can write small program and get it done. Okay, so how do you learn programming? Before that, specifically for computer science, I want to give you a comment. Okay, kind of partially joke and partially a little bit serious. So when I teach my first programming course, right, for you, I guess it's a Python programming course, I guess. When the students come in and I start the class, I tell them that along the way, anytime, if you feel writing code is kind of like drinking a medicine, I think you should go see the counselor and change your major. Okay, so particularly for computer science students, it cannot be like drinking a medicine. It should be like eating a candy. Okay, that's how you should feel. That's how you should approach it. So which means, what I mean by that? What I mean by that is that you should be willing to try more and more and more. Do a lot of example programs. Whenever you have free time. Okay. So that's how you improve your skills. That's how you have to kind of enjoy that process too. Okay. Hopefully, again, our Python course, that's the plan, to make it really enjoyable. Okay. Okay. So again, I told you, these are our old slides. Some may make sense, some may not, but hopefully we learn few things from it. Okay. One other thing each one of you should know by now is that each person learns at different pace, right? Each person has a different learning style. If doing something looks like cryptic code, cryptic activity, you are rushing through it, you're probably going too fast. You haven't spent enough time in it. Okay. So that's why actually here, particularly in schools, we teach a lot of fun stuff, fun environments. Khan Academy is one of the fun environments, and it's basically graphics based. So we make it a lot more enjoyable. So if you can kind of make the learning to code enjoyable process, then we have a lot more interest to learn, right? I know that comment is kind of too late now because you guys have already learned Python. But the key thing is that do not feel bad if you're a little bit slow. Okay? This is not a race. Okay? So you do have to take time to learn. So just because your friends are able to finish quickly, oh my God, they finished, I better help me, let's finish this and go away. If you do that, if you haven't learned it, you are just making yourself, it's going to make it even more difficult for the next assignment, right? Next project will be harder, right? That's how it is. So if you're not comfortable right now, next one will be even harder, right? So don't feel bad to take time to learn. Many of the excellent programmers, actually, they're very slow starters. Nobody became excellent programmer just because they're very fast to start with. Okay. Nowadays, we use a lot of examples, and many times, in fact, industry uses very much like Google search and all that, right? We use a lot of examples, right? So this along the same way, this is probably more of an input to faculty rather than students, right? It's not always necessary for us to write code from the scratch. Okay. So you can always do off-baked program or something to give it to the students. You can also find programs wherever, take some program, understand, and you can always enhance something, so so you can certainly use the existing code and develop some specific portion alone. So that's what is open source, you might have heard about. There's tons of code already there. That's how industry works, right? Tomorrow meaning when you graduate, when you go to companies, what will you do? You're not going to start from hull into main. You're not going to say, or Python, empty Python program. You're not going to do that. Most of the time, program is already there. In fact, tons of lines are there. You will be enhancing code here and there. So you'll be adding potentially 100,000, 200,000 lines are there. You'll be writing some 100 lines of code in something. That type of things are very, very common. We don't generate new software every day, or every month even. We have to work with the existing software many times. Use a good integrated development environment, Visual Studio, NetBeans. I guess NetBeans is not that famous now. Eclipse, right? And for Python, you might have used PyCharm, or several things are there, right? Jupyter, I guess, right? So Anaconda, all these ones are there, right? So this idea is take care of the mundane things so that you can focus on logic and coding. Okay. So for a long time, Anna, thanks to Anna University, we were using Turbo C, very time. You guys escaped, hopefully. So that was really old tool and all that. So, okay, use a good idea. Coding is not something a race that you just boom, you sit and code and finish and run away. It's not that type of activity. You may be able to do that for extremely small programs, but not anything complicated. So a little bit slow and steady is better than race and burn, I call it. Again, with the experience, your complexity, the complex programs that you can handle becomes better and better, bigger and bigger. But in general, it's good to be a little bit slow and steady instead of race and burn. Okay. The problem with race and burn is basically you underestimate the complexity of the program. You just keep coding, then you hit a big block. Then you realize that your total approach is wrong. Then basically you start from scratch. Okay. So even experienced designers do all the time, so the race and burn and sometimes purposely, they don't think too much. They just want to code and see, or it can be even prototype. So generally, some type of level of code, the informal idea or writing pseudocode is better than that will sets you up well to succeed. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't insist enough. There's always the impatience level. So but keep that in mind. Hopefully, you'll learn that as part of this course too. This is an interesting one, learning with your friend. Learning with a friend doesn't mean just copying from a friend, okay? Let me make that clear. Learning with a friend is basically solving problems independently and along the way discuss little bit as needed to help each other and brainstorming really. So for example, right, you're writing some code, your friend is writing some code, let's say you're stuck, right? You try to fix it for some time, you cannot, and you show the code to your friend. Usually your friend can fix it very quickly, come up with the problem, show the problem right away. Similarly, your friend's code, if you review it, you can find the problem very quickly. That's just human nature. We are so good in finding fault with others. Okay, so others' mistakes are so visible, but our own mistakes, we cannot see them at all, right? So that's called pair programming. So in fact, in industry, they use that quite a bit. Two people work together, they code, and then they see each other code to look for mistakes. Okay. And of course, another thing is that, let's say in this course, I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities. There are your friends who may be struggling and you may be able to do better. Best way of learning is by teaching. Okay. Help your friends to come up to speed. Okay. And once you kind of reach a level of maturity, you can even work on a simple team project. For example, Python, right? I don't know whether you have done multiple file programs. Probably you didn't do. So you can take a complex project and divide by the functionality, and you can code the bunch of functions. Each team member, maybe team of 2 or team of 3, 4, 5, and then try to put them together, see whether the program works. That's a simple team project, right? That's what industry does, right? So some people do self-paced learning and just do learning alone. I don't recommend it. That sounds so serious, and it also requires a lot of self-discipline. I mean, some people have that self-discipline, so, and it's not much fun. It's always good to learn with a friend, isn't it? So, and when you finish the assignment, right, So this is a really fun part. You're given an assignment, you finish it. You try your best to finish it. Maybe along the way, if you get stuck, you can get some help, but you never copy from your friend, because if you copy from friend, you are not learning really, right? So after finishing the assignment successfully, right, or almost there, then discuss with your friend. Then you can even look at friend's code. Okay, let's see how you did it, how I did it. So maybe you learn something new from the way your friend approached the code. Okay, so one of the sad realities I have seen in India, lot of courses, the contents, I don't know why that was. Maybe a lot of math people were there initially, I guess, and somehow, I guess, computer science is viewed as a extension of math, maybe, right? So what you see is, immediately prime number, multiplication table, factorial, and output the factors. These are all the common problem I have seen. In US, if you give that problems, our students will run away. High school students and college students, maybe CS students may not, but others, you know, it's not very exciting. So instead, if you can do some games, any type of game, even guessing game, or even this is not a grocery store checkout. That's not a game, obviously, but that's something we do all the time, right? You go to store and buy stuff, right? So if you can kind of mimic that in a program, so think of some what if scenarios, some interesting enhancements, so that is a lot more interesting way to learn programming compared to just doing the math type of problems alone. I'm sure few people are very thrilled about math, but most of other people are not, so okay. So in America, we have a saying, real men don't ask for directions. Okay. So don't be like that. Meaning, even though you're completely lost, you never ask for directions. You just try to figure out. You know how bad that is, right? So same thing in coding. Time to time, students come to me and said that, oh my God, I had this issue. I've been working on this for 2 days and still I cannot fix it. So I tell them that I appreciate that you're working very hard, try to fix the issue, and you want to do well in this course. That doesn't mean you should you should fail in all other courses. Okay, so you need to be efficient too. Try to fix on your own, but do not spend more than some specific time too. If you're not progressing, you should stop there and ask for help. Okay. There's no point in spending a lot of time, and your frustration will increase. You start doubting yourself whether you can do it. Your confidence will go down. Basically, that's not the goal. I still don't know a lot of things on programming. Okay, just simply nobody knows everything. Number one. Number two, as a faculty, I do certain level of programming, but I don't do like industry level of programming, So there's always things that will be that I don't know, and why something gets stuck. I teach in classes actually by programming in front of my students. There are few times I just got completely stuck. I don't know why my program doesn't work, So then we tell the students that I have to debug it. I don't know how much time it's going to take, but class time is only so much limited. So I will go home, find the issue, and tomorrow, next class, I'll show you why that is. Okay. So, and I try to explain how I found the issue also. It's all part of learning, right? So back to this, have a time discipline. Okay. So now you know Python, many of you, and we will be strengthening your Python skills here. And of course, particularly CSIT students, if you're thinking about software engineering job, certainly you need to have multiple languages. I'm sure you may be learning Java or C++ soon, maybe, right? So certainly you need to have multiple languages. So the good thing is that learning multiple languages is easy. Every new language is easier to learn, unlike the real languages, French, Japanese, and all that. Knowing one language doesn't help you in the other one. Whereas here, every new language you add on, it will take roughly half the time to reach the same level of experience. So it also, when you know multiple languages, now you kind of have a better idea about your logic versus the syntax. When you are good in only one language, it's kind of messy, right? Because you're not differentiating between logic and the syntax. So everything looks together, right? Don't be a perfectionist. I think we talked about that earlier, right? Don't be a perfectionist at all. In fact, many perfectionists make really terrible programmers, because they expect the code to work quickly and be done. How can computer tell me I'm wrong? All those things. So even sophisticated people just still make syntax errors, but they fix quickly and move on. So still we do very much trial and error. So software development is just like our real life, right? Humans, we do everyday trial and error, just that we don't make the same error, right? We make new errors, more sophisticated errors, and we learn from it, right? Same thing here. Okay, so don't be a perfectionist. So try coding contest problem. Once you have first programming course, you have finished Python, we can try programming contest problems. Programming contest websites are using auto grading, right? And so they will test your program correctness and efficiency. That's what we are going to do, right? Okay, so that finishes this second presentation. Wow, okay, we think we are doing good in time. Okay, let me go to the third presentation. That is about this course. I have written on some slides. It may change. I will share the link. I think I already shared the link with faculty, but I will share it again. I'll probably do some updates as well. Okay, so this is really exclusively for CIT students, and this problem solving in Python is what I gave a title. We may change. And again, a few things may change, okay? But at least you will get a flavor of what I'm talking about. So we already have it here. See, this slides. So you already have programming concepts. You have learned all the theory and everything. So we are going to put them to use. We are going to at least the initial part, we are going to simply work on series of problems. That's what we are going to work on. Okay. So we are going to go to this site, open.catis.com, and so by the way, you can note down these two links as well, open.catis.com and also bit.ly/utd-cit-python. Okay, that's this Google Slides for this workshop. Okay, we'll keep updating this one with as the workshop proceeds. Okay, very good. There are tons of Python materials. I think you have finished already. So of course, if you want anything, look up. There's so much in the web, right? Okay, so along the way, what you have to do, again, you can see the slides later and you can finish the steps. So most important thing is this slides, bit.ly/utd-cit-python. Okay. So that you can look up slides and you can do it, complete it and get ready. Okay. A few steps. What you're going to do, we are going to visit this site. All of you have to go visit this site and register yourself. Okay, register yourself. So, madam, can I ask some questions? Do we have every student has a CIT email address?
Yes, sir.
So, do we recommend them to use the CIT email address, or we don't care? I don't care personally, but
Sure, sir.
I think it will be good to use CIT email address. But do they check regularly though? Yeah.
So I will confirm it with the team, sir.
So I prefer CIT email address. That way we can see the
Sure, sir.
students' information and all
Yes,
that easily.
I will inform the admin
Okay.
team and have a follow-up, sir.
Yeah. So again, students, you will get your follow-up. Okay. This is kind of big picture. We will follow up with the more concrete information. So name, email address, then I think you set up the password and all that. It's a free site. Okay. And then along the way, again, ignore this now part. You'll be doing later, don't worry. As part of the setup, somewhere the settings, I guess, settings, then it will pull up, this menu, and you can set the country, Tamil Nadu, university. So far, CIT is not listed. Okay. So I think what we are going to do, I will update it here. There is one Chennai Mathematical Institute or something. For now, maybe we'll use that, So hopefully CIT will be added. Once CIT is added, we'll switch to CIT. Okay. So this setup, these are all kind of initial simple setup. Okay. That's all. So once you do that, actually the university college name also will appear. Right now I haven't done that. So it will appear some kind of on the top like this. Okay. So along the way, we'll collect some information to make sure that, when you finish, you get certificate. Okay. So that's really is the setup. Okay. And this is the problem set we'll start with. We may not do all the problems, but we will cover a lot of problems from it. It starts really, really simple. Okay. So you all know what is the simplest problem, right? Hello world, right? So you can see that's how it starts. Really, hello world is where it starts. Then in the first session, next Monday, I think our dean will explain how it's going to run. First session, I'm hoping that we can cover these 4 problems. You are welcome to review them before coming, and so it's really up to you. Okay. How we want to approach this, you can try it before coming, all that. In fact, that's a good idea. That way we can kind of move faster. So in the session, we are going to wait till at least 50% of you finish. That's how we are going to use. At least 50% of you finish, then we move on to the next problem like that. Okay. So you can see I have already written down few problems, few sets. And so set hopefully translates to sessions. Okay. That's how we will do. I'm going to go to that site and kind of show you how it looks directly. So this is that I have already created. Okay. I guess they're kind enough to give you a score of 1 to start with. So that means there are so many people are there above, I guess. See, I already changed it to Chennai. So when I type in here, I think it's under settings. If I click here, I don't know why it's not coming. Okay. So here. Okay. Wait. It's not coming. That's okay. There you go. See. It's slow. So you can see the bunch of universities are there, and you can select and all that, and then let me go that side. Right?
Sir, if Anna University name is there, I think better we can use that name, sir. If Anna University, because our college is affiliated with Anna University.
Understand that. I understand. The reason why I don't like is Anna University already have a lot of students in it.
Okay, sir.
I'm hoping they will add soon. I'm hoping.
Okay.
I already requested once. I requested them again today. I really prefer this to be under CIT. That way, we can see the list. All this will be.
Yeah, it will be better. It will be better. Sir.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I said Chennai Mathematics Institute is not that bad. It has only 6 students or something.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so probably they don't care anyway. So I will
Okay.
see whether anything else can be done. So there's a problem list here, and problem list and difficulty. Yeah, see, the first one is the hello world. Okay, so here is the really exciting part. As you solve problems, right? Remember, you're not limited to the problems that we are doing in the session. You are also welcome to kind of go forward and solve more problems. Your score will keep going up. See this number, as you solve them, it will keep adding. So let's see who can come up with a few of you students. You can kind of have a friendly match and challenge each other. All of you. I hope maybe we can recognize the top 10 numbers or something. Who knows? We'll do something like that. Okay. But be truthful, of course. Please do not ask somebody else to solve it for you. That's not really the goal of here. And the goal is to make sure that when you solve a problem, really that you should know how to solve it. Here is the interesting thing. Just like GitHub, I hope the CS students know GitHub and all where you can store your projects. And I haven't used much, but a lot of students use. Similarly, you will have your personalized website. Let me see whether my site is, whether I have. Let's see. I have 2 accounts. I created for CIT one account. This is my original account. Okay, let's see. Yeah, right here. See, I do have a score of 76. So I'm looking forward to first CIT student who will beat me. So bunch of problems, I guess. See, these are all the problems I have solved. You can see. So basically at some point I got excited about Python because I don't teach Python in the college. Okay, so I thought this was good practice, so I tried to solve all this in Python. So let's see. Hello world. I won't show the other solutions, but hello world, let's see what solution I wrote. My submissions. Click on this. So you know what the solution is, right? Just print hello world. That's it, right? So when you run it, submit it, it will say accept. So how does it show that? So when you have that problem list, right? See, when you click on that problem, it comes to the screen. Then when you can submit, you can prepare. And let's see, click on the submit. See, you can actually upload a file or you can switch to a editor. So of course, I don't know why it says C++. You can see how many languages are supported, right? So you can set up the default settings, okay? Switch to the editor. You can type in right here, okay? Or you can use your favorite editor, or PyCharm or Jupyter, whatever you want to use. Then you can copy paste here or simply upload the file, basically. So that's how it's going to work. It does the automatic checking. It will have a lot of test cases. It is going to check. Obviously, there's hello, well, there's not much. There's only one test case. Actual problem, there'll be more test cases. And it has to pass all the test cases. It has to pass within the time. Initially, that 1 second or 2 second time limit is not a big deal. But as you go to more and more complex problems, it is a big deal. Okay. So before I wind off, I do want to show one more site. Okay. bit.ly utdcs-india. What is this link again? It is bit.ly UTDCS India. Okay, please note down this link. Okay, what it reads is it shows all the upcoming events at UTD in Indian time. Okay, bit.ly/UTDCS-India. Okay, that's what this calendar, it goes to this calendar. Top right corner, if you click on that agenda, it shows you all the upcoming ones. So today morning, we already had that. And today night, I will be presenting this one. It's a graphics based. You're really welcome. Everyone is welcome to attend 8:30 p.m. Let's see how many of you come. So it's a Java based, it's a graphics. You can just come and see the fun side of coding, graphics, how it works, So then we have Wednesday. So I guess Tuesday midnight, I guess that is. And that's advanced work and also bad time, So morning 6 a.m. we have a talk. And again at 9:30 p.m. Wednesday, I'm going to do one more graphics based, and I'm going to use recursion. Okay. And if you want to learn about blockchain, there you go. That's another talk about blockchain. In fact, they're starting this Wednesday. It's going to be every other Wednesday, So these are all free events, by the way. Thursday morning for you, I am going to cover a topic called time complexity, analysis of algorithms. Even though you're first year student, you just finished, you probably may not know this term. I strongly encourage you to join. Okay, 8:30 a.m., little bit early, but I strongly encourage. If you, by the way, you click on this, you will get all the information, how to join and all that. So you can see our list is big. Okay, so now it's up to you how many of these things you want to take advantage of. Okay, so opportunities are endless, so you are living in that world. I wish I was in your world, with this many opportunities. We didn't, so, but we didn't have this many distractions either. So thanks for listening, and let's go back to our thing here. Okay. I turned off the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I can answer a few questions here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you switch on your camera, sir, for your visual presence?
Sure.
And,
Okay. Kanmani Kamal, you want me to just quickly go through the chat?
Sure, sir. Kanmani Kamalnathan, Ms. Kanmani
Yeah, I
has asked.
see the chat. I see here. Yeah, I can take care of myself. No worries. Web
Sure,
pages,
sir.
Python. Yes, absolutely. There's a Python as a big libraries for web development. I have no experience in it, but I can certainly arrange for a talk from somebody who has that experience. Okay. So, see, that's one of the good thing about Python, right? Python came later, which means they fixed a lot of issues we had with C++, Java, and all that, right? Addition to that, libraries are so much libraries. There's a Pygame, there's a NumPy, right, for data science and all that. So you name for anything, there's a library, right? So that way you can write a small number of lines and get it done. So old style C program, let's say 1,000 lines, right? So then C++ program to be 750 lines. Java, it will be 500 lines. If you write in Python, it will be 200 lines. So you write less and less code to get things done. Okay. So it has a library for everything, seem to be. Okay. Sir, why not use Turbo C? Turbo C was really old. That company doesn't exist. I think company name was Borland or something. So now we have something called code blocks. Code blocks, IDE, C++, all that. It's basically continuous compilation and all that. Just Turbo C, it's so old. It's not even graphical. Okay. So, any other questions? I think I don't see any other questions.
Yes, sir.
Scope of Python and cybersecurity. Well, cybersecurity is again, I go back to the library. Whatever you want to do in cybersecurity, chances are Python will help you to write small code and get it done. Is it natural for some students to struggle in coding while others seem to learn it easily? Absolutely, yes. It's very common for students to struggle, some to struggle, and others to learn easily. Don't give up. So you have to spend some more time to learn. So okay, so don't give up. Basically, is it good to start with Python as a programming language? That's a very tough question. It is good to start with Python for non-CS students. CS students, they do need to know more. It's almost like you have a car. Most people will be driving the car. Very few people will be digging inside and seeing what's inside. There are very few people who are building the car. Now, CS people are supposed to build the car, right? Car meaning software application. So you need to know a lot of things that goes on below, right? Whereas engineering people and others, they're kind of using it, so they need to know very high level. Python is an extremely high level language, right? So Chandradhar, I think Dean is going to explain 50-hour course, when it's going to start and all that. Which code editor would I recommend for Python? I have used PyCharm. Doesn't mean that that's the best one. PyCharm and IDE and there are so many popular ones. Ideal is one, Jupyter is one. Try 2, 3. See which one you like. Again, I haven't coded a lot in Python, so it's very hard for me to really compare multiple ones. Okay. Is there any possibility to watch a webinar by UTD once it's over? Venkatachalam, how you do that is that you go to the meetup. So when you click on that bit.ly UTD-CS-India, when you click on it, you see the detail. In the bottom, there's a meetup link. You click on that, and when you go to the meetup link, and it will go to, I guess I stopped sharing my screen. Let me share again, maybe. So then the meetup link will look like this. Okay. So from the UTD CS India, when you click on it, you go to this meetup. In the bottom comments, you will see the recorded link most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time it will be there. Okay. So in fact, I try hard to make it convenient time for you. Sometimes I cannot avoid it. It's a noon, midnight, or 2 a.m. or something. Sometimes happens. Okay. I think.
Yes, we have covered. Sir, one question from Yogesh now. For app
development, Kiwi module, I am not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know what Kiwi is. Maybe you can ask the student who is going to teach Python. They may know better. Okay. So my student instructor is the one who will be teaching. Okay. I think we can.
Yes,
and maybe you or Dean can explain how the process is going to be.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for spending your valuable time for us.
I will try to stay on for some more time, but it's 12:10 a.m. Soon I have to go to sleep. Okay. So
yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for your timing, sir. You
sure.
can just
thank you.
We will continue, sir. Thank you.
you.
Shall I continue, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Dear students, I hope you had a good insight into what is the importance of programming, and especially for the computer science and IT students, what is the importance of Python programming in their personal life. And moreover that, as our Dr. Jey sir said in his initial remark, the programming, every engineer should know, every engineer should learn, because in all engineering field, without programming, it is going to be very, very difficult to carry out your work. Being it as mechanical engineer or electrical engineer, whatever maybe you are field of specialization, you should learn, you should know about the programming. So that is the reason why Chennai Institute of Technology is organizing this particular certification program on Python. So you may wonder, or you may have a question, doubt, why Python is selected for this. So in fact, Python, many big companies, many big IT companies like Google, IBM, many companies, you can name any one company, they have started using Python for their products and for their projects. So when you learn Python, then automatically your job opportunity will be widened. So you can scope of getting, you can scope to get good placements in very big IT companies, so-called core companies. So that is the reason why we thought of taking this particular programming course to all our students. So as I said during my welcome speech, we are planning to conduct a 60-hour program. And to begin with, we are going to commence this program from coming Monday, that is on 13th of July. So weekly, this course will be conducted for 3 days. That is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So every day it will be for 1.5 hours during the beginning. So Monday, it will commence at 10 o'clock and it will go up to 11:30 a.m. Like that, Wednesday and Friday. And after that, after a few weeks, then the timing will be extended to 2 hours. So it is not that your learning have to be curtailed or you have to come to an end. Your learning has to come to an end after that 1.5 hours. No, after that also you can learn on your own. And as Sir said, so many exercises have been posted in that website. You can start doing that exercise. You can start solving those problems. By that way, you can able to learn more and more. So we expect all the computer science, IT, EEE, ECE, and mechatronics students to compulsorily take part in this certification program. See, one advantage, as I said already, you can have more and more learning skill in Python programming. Second thing is, you at the end of the course, you will be provided with the certificate which is endorsed by University of Texas dollars. So if you are not a student of CIT, you can think of the difficulty in getting this certification, right? During the student period, getting a certificate, that too from a world-renowned university like University of Texas Dallas, is not a simple thing. So that certificate will add a lot of value to your resume when you go for any placement opportunities, placement drives. So we from Chennai Institute of Technology request all the first year, that is the present second year students belonging to all these circuit branches like CSE, IT, EEE, ECE, and mechatronics to take compulsory to take part in this certification program. And all the remaining mechanical and civil interested students, those who want to end up their career in software industry, they can also take up this certification program. So further details will be posted to you through your WhatsApp group. It will be broadcasted regarding exact timing, registration link and all. But as of now, you can be sure that this program will commence from coming Monday, that is on 13th of July, and it will be conducted for 3 days in a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every day it will be conducted for 1.5 hours. And the latter part, it will be extended to 2 hours. Like that, the entire program will be completed within 60 hours. So I hope all will be registering and all of you will get benefited out of attending this certification program. Thanks for joining with us in today's orientation program. I expect, as I said, every one of you to join with the regular certification program. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. I even request the students to inform their friends also, those who have not attended. So please share your experience of attending today's webinar and orientation program, what sir explained. So tell them also to join the course. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for attending.